Hi guys, this video is going to show you how to recycle those empty pet food bags and turn them into a cute reusable tote bag. Depending on what brand you buy, your bag is going to vary in size, shape, design, and material. So this tutorial is just kind of an overview and you can customize it depending on your preferences. I like to start by cutting off the top and bottom to open it up and make sure that I'm working with clean edges. Once I have it prepped, I can cut my handle straps. I like to do at least a 4-inch wide strap, but 5 inches is a bit more comfortable because we're going to be folding it in half and folding it in half again. If you want longer straps, you might need to cut 2, but I just ended up cutting mine in half and it worked perfectly. I like to give everything a little wipe down with a antibacterial wipe just to make sure that there's no pet food residue getting into my sewing machine or on my desk. And now that our bag is prepped, we're ready to start sewing. So we're going to do a straight stitch along the bottom to close it up and a double fold hem along the top. To do a double fold hem, I just fold over 1/2 inch all the way around, and since this is a plastic material, it holds a seam or a crease really well. So I go around and fold over 1/2 inch and then fold it over again to enclose all the raw edges and hold everything together with bulldog clips until I'm ready to run it through my machine. So now we're going to sew our hem and the bottom seam. I like to do 2 reinforced stitches along this top hem. Not only does it hold everything in place, but since we're going to be adding our handles, we want a very strong, sturdy hem along the top. And it just looks way more professional. If you can do straight stitches, which isn't always my best. But now that we have our double fold hem sewn all the way around, we're going to do a straight reinforced stitch along the bottom. All the way along the bottom. Now, the tricky part of making our boxed corners. So we're going to cut out a square from each of the corners, and you want to measure your square from the edge of the bag and from that seam that we just created along the bottom. So mine is 2 3/4 inch, and I'm measuring from the edge of the bag and from that bottom seam that we just did. So cut out your little square, and I'm just following the lines that are in the bag, but I find that anywhere from a 2 to a 4-inch box cut out of the corner makes a good size bag. The smaller the box, the more narrow your bag is going to be, and the wider the box, the wider your bag is going to be. To make our boxed edges, we're just going to open up that seam and press it flat and then sew a straight stitch right along the corner. And you can see that makes our nice, beautiful boxed corners for our bag, which helps it stand up. I'm just going to do a reinforced stitch, straight stitch right along that corner. And I try and cut my stitches and make sure that my seams are nice and clean as I go. All right, now we're ready to get started on the handles. I would suggest cutting out any seams that you can. In this one, you can see where those flaps fold over. That's where the seam in the bag is. I would suggest cutting those out if you can, only because they're not as comfortable. But since these ones are on the end, I knew that they wouldn't be in the way of the handle. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but if you can, cut out the seams on the handles, just because it makes them fold better. But to prep our handles for sewing, I like to fold a crease right down the center, like that, and then fold both long edges into the center and fold it hot dog style so that all the raw edges are enclosed and you have a few layers of handles, so they're very durable. Now we're going to do the same straight stitch right down our handles. I like to do a double stitch, so I'll run it through my machine lengthwise, flip it around, and run it through again. This gives you very, very sturdy handles, and for these bags, they can hold a lot. So you want your stitching and all of your seams to be as reinforced and sturdy as possible. So there you can see two beautiful professional looking handles. I like to make sure the edges are nice and clean and they're both the same length. So I give them a quick little trim and they're ready to attach to our bag. This is kind of the tricky part. I like to just eyeball it first. I know, I'm so scientific. I eyeball it to see what is comfortable and what looks even, and then I measure out the same distance on all four sides. I find usually 6 inches from the edge works for most handles, and I make a mark just with an erasable pen. Depending on the size of your bag or what's comfortable for you, this measurement might change. So again, I kind of place it and make sure that it looks good and it will be comfortable, and then I run it through my sewing machine. And attaching the handles is the trickiest part, and it's even trickier to explain. I attach my handles with a rectangle and then a X through that rectangle. It's very difficult to explain, but it ensures that your handle is attached. Since the handle holds all of the weight of the bag, you want to do as much stitching as possible to really make sure it's reinforced and strong. So I do a rectangle around each of the straps where it's connected to the seam, and then run an X through the rectangle. You'll be able to see it here in a second. Once I'm done, I do a few knots and then cut it off. And there you can see our beautiful attached strap. You're just gonna do that 3 more times to attach all of your handles, and voila, you have your very own recycled tote bag. Ta-da! So thank you guys for watching this tutorial. My battery is about to run out. I just thought I would show you the end product. It's loaded up with about 10 or 20 magazines in it, and these suckers are durable. You know, they're meant to hold like 50 pounds of feed, so they're gonna hold all your books, all your groceries, and you are keeping a plastic bag out of the landfill. I love recycling projects, and if you guys want to make your own tote bag, I would love if you could tag me on Instagram, or if you want to check out one of the ones that I've made. I think this one's kind of cool because it's like see-through. This one's also fun because I made a big and a small. Isn't it cute? So you can kind of have fun with it. If you want to check out, any of the designs that I have, I will have my Etsy linked in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I forgot to mention, $1 from every bag sold I'm donating to my local animal shelter. So please check them out. It's a recycling project and you donate to a good cause. So thank y'all. I am going to clean up all these bags and probably take photos of this one to put up on Etsy. Just getting dinner ready for tonight. I got some cherry tomatoes out of the garden, and I'm probably gonna make a salad. I also got a spaghetti squash, which is in the oven cooking. I just filmed this feed sack tote tutorial. I'm not sure what I'm gonna call it yet, but I think this one turned out so cute with the little pupper face on the front. I started making these out of necessity because I have like totes of bags that I just couldn't throw away. I'm such a hoarder. So I've been making these feed sack totes and putting them on Etsy. I sold my first one this morning. Thank you, Amy. And yeah, I thought I would make a tutorial so we can keep these bags out of the landfills. I love recycling projects. I'm such a hoarder. Yay! I wanted to mention the shirt. It's from Night Crimes. I don't think this print runs anymore, but he has other cool designs. And he did my tattoo. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed the little crafty project that we did and our little day hike that we took. So please check the description for all the links and information, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.